everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Reset Podcast. I'm your host, Laura Mignot. This is part of my 29 Days of Magic series where I get to introduce 29 phenomenal Black women. And today I am super delighted to have Tushiya Hunter, who is a creative consultant and so much more, on the show. And so I can't wait to dig in and hear all about her life stories. So welcome, girl. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. I'm good. Trying to stay warm in this blizzard
You look
outside,
like
feels
you're used
like.
to the weather. I do not get Miami vibes from you. I'm getting cold.
Yeah, yeah. It's cold. It's cold.
It is
So,
not cute.
gotta bundle up, get my layers together.
It ain't cute
But
right
I'm
now.
ready. I'm ready for it. I'm a native New Yorker, so we're ready for it.
This is true. I know, but it's been way colder than it has been in like a decade. So I'm just like,
Mhm.
stop.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but as cold as it is here, it's a warm in here for our lovely conversation. And so the
Yeah.
first question I always ask, and the answers are always hilarious, and I feel like yours will be just as good. What was your favorite all-time job?
Hmm. Favorite job. I'll narrow it down to the beginning. So I would say one of my favorite jobs is when I worked for Desigual. That was my introduction to um, a luxury brand that was based out in Barcelona, Spain. And I got the privilege to work in multiple locations. So I've worked in their San Francisco office, where I also went to college. And then I've worked in their Soho location in New York, which no longer exists. And then I actually helped out for their 2015 collection at, was it Mercedes Benz? I don't even know if they do that anymore, at Lincoln Center. So I got the privilege to work in so many different aspects with that brand. So I would say that was probably one of my favorite jobs because that was an introduction for more opportunities to work behind the scenes in fashion.
That sounds fantastic. I remember this as well, being like one of the coolest brands. They had that great store in Soho
Hmm.
that was there for a long, long time. So
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
fabulous. So you sort of tipped your hand talking about from some degree of fashion because how did you get here? Like, what is your real career story, girl?
How did I get here? Uh, okay, I would say the fashion bug hit me in fifth grade, and I had my first internship with Ralph Lauren. I was still in junior high, if you could believe it or not.
How does one get an internship at Ralph Lauren at the age of what, 12, 13?
I was very young. So I was so young that I had to have a parent slip, and my dad would come pick me up. So, backstory, I went to a private school called East Harlem School, and I was a part of the, I guess, elite students who had like high grades, and they offered not, well, it was kind of like a scholarship or like a pre-grant or like different things that you can do outside of just school. And I wanted to be a part of a club, and they were like, "Hey, maybe you should sign up for this club." So outside of a government team, I was on that too. I was also part of this fashion club. And lo and behold, they never told us who it was for. But that was the first time I went to the Ralph Lauren office by Bloomingdale's. And I met Ralph and his son. And I think it was maybe just 10 students at the time. They gave us a full tour of the office. They taught us about different fabrics. I mean, you name it, everything. And they gave us a timeline, and you had to create almost like a mood board and kind of describe like what you would want for your collection to be. And we had to. It's so crazy that I remember all of this like from the top of my head. But yeah, they gave us homework assignments to do, and this is outside of school.
I was
And
gonna say,
we had to
this all
submit
was with
this.
your neighbor. Were they paying
Yeah.
you all?
No, I was not paid. I mean, I was still young, so for me, I didn't really care about pay, and I actually didn't even think about pay because this was a program created for the students who happened to have high grades at the time. I forgot what that category was called, but
Elite.
like the honor roll students. Think of
Yeah,
it as that.
girl. Yeah.
So you
We
got to
all
choose a program that you wanted to be a part of, and that was one of the programs that I chose. And long story short, at the end of the program, I think it was maybe just a couple of months within that season. I might have been in like fifth or sixth grade at the time. And you submitted it. They judged it at the end. Every participant got to showcase their work. Do not have any of that anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, that was my first introduction to it. And then after that, I wanted to go to fashion industries. So after I got into that school, that kind of took off for me. So that was the beginning.
I just hung up on the fact that you were working at Ralph Lauren at 12.
I wasn't paid, but it was kind of like an
It was an internship.
internship.
It was like an internship. How long did it
Internship.
last?
I don't even remember if we got stipends. I would have to go back and do some research to see if we got stipends at the time, but
Did you
I
get
know
free
that
clothes?
we were all babies. Yeah.
Did y'all get any free clothes, some
I
discounts?
do remember they did give us things. Like I think they did give us things, maybe like gift cards, certificates. I think there was one time we went on like a school field trip. So they did give us things. I can't remember word for word. My dad would probably remember a lot more because he was usually my chaperone. So
I just love how it's like, yeah, still going to work. Where at Ralph Lauren? At school, yeah. It's
I did an
like-
interview about this when
That's
I
what
was
I'm
in
saying.
college because someone
I'm
asked
just
me what was
saying.
my start and they couldn't believe it. That's how it started. That's how it
Okay, so we
started.
go from literally a slightly illegal intern because I feel like 12 is not the age you're
Please don't do that.
like like hello child services. I yo.
No, no,
Um,
no.
but like I don't know, obviously I love it the fact that it was an amazing opportunity to get started. And obviously
Hmm.
if you weren't bitten by the fashion bug before that, clearly after that
Yeah,
it was a giant bee sting. And
yeah.
so how did we end up to having this conversation today? So after fashion industries, what happened?
Oh my God. So funny thing, fashion industries, if you could believe it or not, I was in fashion industries at the same time as, oh my God, Simmons. I'm forgetting her name. We went to school together. When she created pastries, the sneakers pastries.
Oh,
Angela Simmons. There we
interesting.
go. So she was graduating and I was coming in. And I remember at the end of the year, she brought her sister Vanessa and she brought her brother Jojo. And they were introducing their pastry sneakers to the class. I'm not like, it's so crazy how it's such a small world. And that was how we started a relationship. Like, I'm not close to her, but I've been in the same spaces with her. And the fact that I was able to get one of her original designs, it was pretty cool. It's pretty
Wow.
cool.
So, okay, so you do all this amazing stuff. And so what do you do now? Like, what is that all about?
So currently, I work for Macy's as a studio coordinator. So what that entails is making sure that all of sample management handles the ready to wear garments that comes from the factories and that come from overseas and they get photographed. So it goes through a workflow of samples being sent to the studio. We check every single item in to make sure we have all the inventory. And then there's multiple meetings and then after that, I work with the production team to make sure we cast the correct models that fit the garments. Then we schedule fittings. And once we get the fittings, then they put together a calendar, and the calendar kind of, it's almost like when you do a film and they give you a sheet and you have to figure out the days, the times, the sets, the talent information. And once that part is finished, then we get to the photo shoot aspect. Now, while I'm on set, I do shot lists. A lot of people work in film and work in photography. They understand the shot list. So it's like a count of every single item, how it's supposed to be photographed, a front view, a back view, a side view, you name it. If there's video footage, I got to do the counts for the video footage. And then I also do behind the scenes work of all the technicalities with the editing and oh God, it's like running through. Um, yeah, making sure everything is edited, color matched, and then returned. So I go through that entire workflow from the beginning of the process to the end of the process. So that's basically what I do.
Awesome.
And you'll see all the beautiful visuals on the website. And sometimes you'll see them in the stores. Sometimes you'll see them in the ad campaigns, commercials. So yeah,
So all that magical goodness that we see on the website, that's you.
it's my team. So it's all sample management. It's the on figure team, the still life team. There's different departments: home department, jewelry department, handbag department, shoe department. Like everybody works together, and I'm pretty much circling through every department.
No, I love that you're sharing this because I think this is so important for especially for a lot of younger folks who don't realize that there's so much behind the scenes
So many jobs.
and there's so many opportunities for different kinds of jobs that like
Yes.
you don't know how to sketch,
Yes.
you have an eye for fashion, you have an eye
Hmm.
for color, that there is a whole universe and a machine behind the scenes
Yes.
that makes that all come to life and so that it's possible to get a job in there and be successful. So I think that's super awesome because I think and you're the first person I've ever had on the show that's had that level of detailed job behind the scenes to say,
Really?
damn.
Oh yeah, coordinators do a lot. Anyone who's ever organized a photo shoot understands all the technical details that is behind it. Down to hiring a team alone is difficult because working with the producers to create a calendar, make sure we have a photographer, make sure we have a digital tech, make sure we have models because sometimes models don't show up and having like a backup plan with the agencies. Then we got to make sure we have a tailor on set in case the clothes don't fit properly or if the model gains weight, loses weight. Then you got to have assistants. And then hair and makeup is a whole nother beast. So imagine having to hire talent for every single day. So it's definitely is hands on. Hands on.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's, I think again, it's so fascinating. I mean, having worked somewhat in the fashion industry at the beginning of my career and like always having some weird fashion connection all the way through. I forget about like the level of detail that goes through to like make all the magical toys come to life because it's you don't realize that like it goes into such level of detail.
Yeah.
And again, I always say if you're a producer, you can produce anything.
Yeah. Producers, I always say the producers, the coordinators, and the art directors, they are the ones
Y'all are
holding
beasts.
up the fort because
Ah, y'all,
it's
y'all do it all.
so much that goes into work. Like I had someone else shadow our team for one day and they were like, I can't do this. They went back to their side because they were like, yeah,
Nah, I
mm,
heard it's fun over on this side of the house, and then yeah, no, fix Jesus, I'm out. Yes,
yeah, it's
I
not
got
an
it.
easy task.
And
Definitely
you've
not
been
an
at it
easy
for a
task.
while, right?
Yes, yes. This will make about 8 years total with the company. I've worked for Bloomingdale's and I've worked for Macy's. And Macy's owns Bloomingdale's,
So back and
but
forth.
just in different roles.
Yeah, very cool. All right, so you've had this really cool career. What would you think has been like your moment of reset?
My moment of,
Of reset.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Can you hear me? It's on my audio. I said, what's your moment of reset?
Ooh, my moment of reset. Are we talking about this year or in general?
You can pick anything you'd like.
I'll start with this year. So I would say my reset is always when I can find something that kind of heals my inner child. And I started painting again. So one of my first loves was writing poetry and also illustrating. And my dad was an artist, my brother's an artist, so I kind of got the bug from doing that. And I started painting again recently, and I painted a portrait of myself, and I shared it with a good friend of mine's. And she was like, like, this is really beautiful that you're getting back into doing this because this is something that you love and it like puts you at peace, and it helps me to kind of unwind and just turn the world off for a little bit. So I would say that was probably like when I hit the reset button. And thus far, I've painted four different pieces already.
Go ahead. All right. I love how you were full of surprises. So, yeah, I just started doing my own self portraits because it's a Tuesday.
That's really what it is.
It was, right? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And so, what do you think prompted you to decide to like, now's a good time for me like to slow down and make this reset?
Um, I always feel like whether it's the beginning of the year or if it's mid year or towards the end when it's like holiday season, I always want to give myself a break. And I always know when I need to take a pause or take a seat back or, ban myself from social media for a few weeks, whatever it is to just kind of cleanse myself because I know if I'm not showing up 100%, then I can't be myself for other people either. So I always like to unwind and reset, cleanse myself, my spirit, just everything in general. Make sure I don't have anything that I regret and anything that I set my mind to. I'm just like, you know what? We're gonna do this today just because. And I really embrace self care. That's another thing.
I love this, and I love how you're framing it because I think, very often we don't do this, and I love that you make it a priority, and you're
Oh
like, hey,
yeah,
not playing around with y'all. Self,
yeah. Like my friends know. They're like, all right, she's out of town. Don't call. Don't text. Like that's. I just want that me time. Like when I went recently on vacation, 12-day cruise with my mom for her birthday and my aunt, and I was like, I just want to disconnect for 2 weeks, and that's kind of what I did. And I just needed that break. And I think it was beautiful to just, step away from everything and to just have that one on one time with family, especially.
it's so necessary, and I think very often we don't realize how important it is until you're burnt out.
Yeah.
And I love that you were like, nah, nah, I'm
Mm-mm.
gonna prioritize. Like, 'cause I wish when I was, I can't say when I was your age, well, I was your age, I did not know what that. I didn't know what it meant to stop.
Yeah.
I was just like, I have to keep going, 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 going.
Yeah.
Relentless hustle was our tagline at my former company. The idea of that now makes my skin crawl because I was
Oh
like,
no.
no, we are not doing that at all.
Yeah.
Thou
Yeah.
shalt prioritize rest.
You have to. Rest is another one. Like give me a good 8 hours and I am energized. So I love good sleep. I love a good nap.
Naps are kind of amazing, and
Naps are underrated.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't had a good nap since like November. Like during the day, like
Yeah.
because like I literally fell asleep on a trip, and I was like, oh, this is nice, and no one's
Mhm.
bothering me for
Mhm.
like a good 5 hours. Yay!
Yes.
It comes in very very handy. Speaking of
Mhm.
like understanding the importance of self care, knowing what you now, all the things that you know now, what do
Mhm.
you tell 18-year-old version of yourself?
Ooh, what was I doing at 18? Oh, I know what I was doing. I was planning my exit. So I was just finishing at Fashion Industries, and I told my parents, you know what? I'm gonna go away to college. I want to go to California. Let me see what they have to offer. And I applied for Academy of Art University first semester. My mom came out there with me because she wanted a break too. And she was like, you know what, let's see what the possibilities are. I toured the campus, loved it. And that was probably the best decision that I made because it forced me to be an adult, you know,
So you're all
forced
by
me to
yourself.
start paying my own bills, forced me to get an apartment, forced me to start doing my taxes on my own. It just opened up my eyes a lot more. And I feel like if I didn't push myself to do that, I probably would have just stayed in New York, stayed under my parents' roof, and kind of did all the things that other 18-year-olds were doing. But I was maturing a little bit faster.
Wow. So you don't have any advice to your 18-year-old self because your 18-year-old self is just like, I'm grown. I'm good.
I mean, I thought I was grown.
That
I
was
still
being
made some
sarcastic.
errors. I still made some
I
mistakes,
feel like you
but
probably did. Where in California were you?
San Francisco. So
Oh,
I was
wow.
in the East Bay. Actually, I've lived in several places in California, but I mostly was in the East Bay, and I stayed in Berkeley for a little bit as well.
Whoa. So wait, that's like early 2000, early mid 2000s. So you were in the midst of all the manner of crazy back then.
Yeah, so that was what I was out there in 2010, 2010, 2011.
So all the startups are happening there, all the tech stuff's happening. And you're
Yes.
just like, la 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 la.
Yes. Lyft was it.
You're like, well, I'm
Yeah.
here.
That's
I'm
when
just,
everything was becoming popular.
whoa.
Hmm.
Again, that is quite the flip. I mean, normally when folks are asking people this question, like, oh, I have this all great advice. And you're like, nah, I like went out and did like the thing at 18. I love that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And thinking about all the things that, you've done and experienced, talk to me about a time where you're like, okay, this is crazy.
Hmm.
I have no idea how I'm gonna make this work. And then
Hmm.
you did.
Hmm. I'm trying to pick one.
If you didn't have less, if you had less than 10, I'd be shocked.
Oh, I have an example. I hope I won't be too nervous sharing this. When I made a mistake, right? Right? That was what
Yeah,
the question
yeah,
was.
sure, yeah. It can be a mistake. You're like, how'd I get out of it? It's a crazy ass situation. Whatever you like.
One thing I would have did differently was when I applied for the role at Christian Siriano. I didn't know how big he was going to blow up. And I lost that opportunity because I wasn't prepared. So that I always regret. That's one regret. Another one, which hits my soul to this day, was when I was offered an opportunity to assist June Ambrose to style Missy Elliott for the MTV Awards. And my fiance was so mad at me
Why?
because I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't take off work. Because they needed me, I think, for 2 weeks or something like that. And I was just like, no, I can't do it. And then afterwards, I was like, that was a bad decision, Tushiya. That was a bad decision. But luckily, I've reconnected with her and we are on good terms. But I missed a huge opportunity for that. So yeah, those are my two regrets.
Those the those are regrets of levels. Oh, here's the thing. I'm gonna be right there with you. On the one hand,
Mm-hmm.
yes, it sucks that you didn't have those opportunities. But on the
Mm-hmm.
other hand, what my mother always says, Caribbean mother, never sorry over disappointment. So
Yeah.
and what's for you won't miss.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's a big part of a lot of the experiences that we all have within our career because, like,
Mm-hmm.
something that you thought was not possible ends up happening as a result of that. And, like, you were in a different room,
Yeah.
ended up learning something, or as you said, you never lose. It's like you either win or you learn. You never lose. So in those
Yes.
situations, you're like, all right, cool. I was not prepared for Christian Sariana. Yes.
And
So
fun fact, one of my childhood friends works there as a lead creative stylist. I won't name names, but
see, there you go.
yeah,
So like you still have a connect there.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And funny enough, Macy's just did a collaboration with them
oh,
for the 40th anniversary of INC, which
oh.
is their private brand. And I bought one of the shirts, so I
Well, see,
support it in a way.
full circle, man, full
Yeah,
circle.
full circle
Yeah,
moment.
yeah. But again, all those things are like again moments where it's like, all right, I missed that. I mean, there's plenty of
Yeah,
things I wish I had gone to when I was in college, when I was in graduate school, and throughout
yeah,
my career. But then also there's the things that like I just randomly stepped into because that's the time I said yes. So
yeah,
and I think all of us in our careers and our experiences, what's supposed to land in our lap lands in our lap, and
mhm,
or even
mhm,
like the moments you think are just like insignificant, work. I mean, how we met, we happened to be sitting next to each other, and
yeah. That
yeah,
was a blessing. Yeah, it was a blessing. I really don't take that for granted. I was glad I was in the right seat at the right time, in the right place.
There you go. See the good magical things. I mean me, because obviously pure magic.
Hmm.
It's like- but like that's. I mean, I think that's an important part about all of this. It's just that, like when you have those opportunities, if you feel ready, you take
Yes.
them. And I think, and if you don't feel ready, then you don't.
Yes.
And if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. We're all human, and I think
Hmm.
that's a real big part that I want to impart across this, especially to younger folks listening. That like you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna think, "Oh man, I wish I had done that," but like 5 years later, 2 years later, 15 days later, something even more
Yeah.
awesome can come your way.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important part about all of this, because like you've gotten to do some bomb ass stuff since then. Like
I've done a few things. Done a
you've done
few
a few
things.
things. Like I feel like you gonna be all right, girl. Um,
Thank you.
of course. And leading into that, what's one thing you're really grateful for today?
I am grateful to be alive. Unfortunately, I've had a lot of friends, close friends, who've been suffering with grief. And I'm constantly like praying for them and praying for their families because losing a parent is never easy. And one of my close friends just lost their dad. And last year, one of my close friends lost her mother. So just going through moments like that and just being supportive to them is like a priority for me. And yeah, I just always want to make sure people feel seen and heard.
I love that. And it's true. Like this moment that we're in, yeah, it's batnet crazy. We acknowledge the batness of the crazy of the crazy. However,
Yeah.
we are here. We are here. And every day that we can get up and
Hmm.
see the sun is a good one, no matter how insane it is outdoors.
Yeah.
And it is truly insane.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
we're not
it
even gonna
is.
pretend like it's not.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last question for you, do you have a give and or an ask of the audience? So what this means is
Hmm.
it could be a piece of advice, or it could be a great book I've read, or it could be like, hey, it's an interesting thing you can follow, or like
Hmm.
a chance to do blah, do blah.
Hmm.
All up to you.
A gift. I would say always follow your instincts. Um, that's something I didn't always do. And also to trust yourself because everything always comes in good timing, whether you know it or not, or you feel like your peers have surpassed you, or you feel like you're in a creative block. Just continue to do what you love and give it your all because you just never know who's watching and you never know when your time will come and you want to be prepared and you want to be ready for that.
I love that. That's so accurate. 'Cause you never know. It's just like you
You
like
have to stay ready. You have to stay prepared.
yeah. So you won't you don't have to stay ready if you get ready. So you're good to go on all focus.
Hmm.
I love it. Well, Tushiya, you were just a delight.
Thank
Like
you.
you're just I said, you always have like the nicest, chillest energy. You're just like, yeah, well, this is good. I was like, see, I love that.
Thank you so
So I'm so glad to have you on the podcast. Well, all the details are showing us folks to follow you and see your work, and if
much.
you want to publish any of your paintings,
Yes. And
make
also check out magazines that I've been featured in too. If you go to
We're
my
gonna put the links.
website,
We'll put the links so folks can
um,
follow you, see the work that you've done, and all your incredible talents. And I am so delighted to have had you as part of 29 Days of Magic.
thank you so much.
Awesome. And that really is our show.
Thank you.